Hi everybody, Angel Arts here. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Life is Strange. So we had a lot happen in the last episode. Let's talk about Kate first. I am so glad. There were a lot of things about that scene that was, I thought, very well done with this game. First of all, it really felt like the choices that you made leading up to that climax with Kate, with her trying to commit suicide. All the choices that you made dealing with Kate up to that point seemed to matter. You know, like answering the phone call instead of, answering the phone call and not brushing her off. Actually trying to help her, genuinely help her deal with the whole viral video situation. Being there for her, standing up for her when David Madison, was bothering her. Yes, it seemed like if I had taken the photo, I would have been able to prove that David Madsen was harassing her, but that would not have necessarily helped to save her life. It would not have necessarily helped. It may have ended up, getting David Madsen into trouble. But I'd rather that David Madsen got scot-free for that moment if it meant that Kate would be able to live, if that was a thing. So I love it because it seemed like the choices that we made actually had consequences, and I still am very happy and satisfied genuinely with every single choice that I've made up to this point. And very happy that almost all of them, virtually all of them, with the exception of a couple, maybe 2 or 3, that I chose after seeing the results of both. But, I think a lot of it was just because I felt that I needed that luxury. I needed to be able to do that to make a really important pivotal decision. However, having said that, I'm happy to be able to claim that a very good majority of my decisions were made without having to look at both outcomes. And I just made a decision that I thought was the best decision, and I stuck with it. And I have yet to regret any decision that I ended up taking. The other thing that I loved about that situation is that they completely took the time travel power away from you at the end. Yes, you needed it to get up to Kate, and I'm glad that Max realized that her powers are limited and she has to be careful when she uses and how often she uses it, because it's not an infinite supply. It's not going to be available to her all the time, so she has to be very careful how often and when she uses it, and I'm glad. And because of that, she had to help Kate all on her own. She could not rely on her time travel powers. She could not depend on her travel powers. And I love that, because this is exactly what I was saying from the very beginning. You cannot rest on your laurels. You cannot always depend and rely on your powers, because situations like this are going to happen, and you're going to have to actually use your head. And you're going to have to actually use what you believe in your heart is the right thing to do. Because at that point, one false move, Kate could have jumped off of that roof, and I would not have had the power to save her. I could not rely on my power. So again, it just reinforces, as much as many of you probably have been disagreeing with a lot of my views, to me that reinforces everything that it's been talking about. I don't just use my powers because I can. Because if I do, there's going to be that one time where I absolutely need it, and it's not going to be there. And during the times when I do need it, but it's not there, I have to be able to be confident enough and comfortable enough to be able to make decisions and be able to respond to situations knowing that I can't go back. And I have to be comfortable with that. But I'm not going to be comfortable with that if I always believe and rely on my powers to be there for me. So that is why I love that scene. And I'm so happy, I feel vindicated that I did all the choices that I made to help save Kate's life, because that was important to me. And still was able to save Chloe's life as well. And then, of course, there's a whole scene. Again, I am very satisfied that Nathan got punished. He could have gotten scot-free. He didn't get expelled from school. I didn't think that was going to happen. But the fact that he ended up getting suspended was a victory for me. And I'm sure, I have a feeling he'll find some way to get out of it. His dad or whatever. Families are probably going to have some way to get out of it. But just the fact that the principal tried to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. Because, yeah, I was disappointed in the way that they had been handling the gun situation and Kate's situation. Shame on Mr. Jefferson for not... If I have to say, if we were able to see the signs, with Kate, Jefferson should have. That's part of your job as a teacher, in my opinion, is when a child is showing those kind of signs. It was pretty obvious. I know situations where I've had one of my most recent friends who had committed suicide. Did not show I didn't think he showed any signs. Signs that hinted at him being depressed and wanted to kill himself. I'm sure maybe behind closed doors he might have confided in some of his friends about his depression. But just like hanging out with him like on a day-to-day, it was very hard for me to see that coming. Kate, on the other hand, was not like that. Kate is she blatantly looks depressed. You have got to be blind to not see that there's something wrong with this girl. Like something not right with this girl. So I don't think Jefferson had any excuse to not know something, or at least approach Kate and try to help her. Instead, he seemed to have added on. That was the last thing that I saw Kate do. It seemed like whatever Jefferson said to him was the straw that broke his back. I have no idea what they were talking about. But as a teacher, Mr. Jefferson should have noticed that. He should have known his students well enough to know there's a problem. And he needed to act on it. He needed to talk to her about it. And I don't think he did. So that's why I'm very disappointed in him. And pretty much all of the faculty of this school. Very disappointed in them. Not just because of Kate, because of the whole gun incident. Which is why, again, this scene, I feel vindicated. At least they're starting to try to make amends for what they're doing. You know, the principals, basically told Manson, you should have locked the doors. Try to be better. Jefferson, you should have known. Everything about that scene was pretty much proved that we were right all this time. So, I'm glad. I'm happy about that. Vindication. Are you all just waiting for me to sign? No, I'm not gonna turn back time. I'm happy with what I did. I'm signing this thing.
Well, I think we know less now than when we started. We'll be assisting the police with further inquiries. I know this has been a stressful day.
It's been a stressful 2 days.
I wish I had the power to change it all for the better.
Yes, you do.
So thank you for coming.
You're the principal. You have the power. You should be using it properly. Go home, Nathan. I don't think you're going to go home and think about what you've done, but maybe you have some time to think about it when you're in detention or suspension or whatever it is we're doing to you, which you're probably just not going to affect you at all in any way, shape, or form, but I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of you.
I couldn't believe it was happening. It was literally slow motion as I grabbed her hand.
Warren!
I could feel her grabbing mine.
Max, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Ever! You reached out, she reached out, hugs, tears, applause. Like a superhero.
So where's my hug, Warren?
Look at me. I'm a mess.
Where's my hug?
Glowing. Seriously, a human halo. I'm pretty sure you earned your wings today.
I think we did.
I'm still worried about Kate. She did try to kill herself. All over a video.
Viral is the right word. Like a disease.
So
Yeah.
you watched it.
Just 1.5 times.
It's okay.
Warren, I don't mean to sound weird, but there's something ominous going on at Blackwell.
Today proves that.
And I'm working on proof that Kate Marsh is connected to Rachel Amber. Somehow.
Interesting.
Along with Nathan and Mr. Madsen.
Interesting.
I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but I wouldn't doubt it. Nathan did scare me yesterday, and Madsen is a straight-up dickhead. So, what do you think is really happening?
I don't know. Life is
What
strange.
the hell is this?
Total eclipse.
Confirms this weird day.
Heroes.
Feel that chill.
It's
Max,
heroes.
there was no eclipse scheduled today. I would know.
That's why.
I would.
That's where the powers are coming from. Oh, there's more. Okay, it's a
I
hug.
believe you, Warren. I'll believe anything.
That's so sweet. Oh, Warren. I'll take it. It's not a full hug, but I'll take it. Wrapping your arm around us. At minimum, he's a great friend. At minimum, Warren's a great friend. And here's our music. Parents are... Who's this? Oh, Jefferson. In his car? What did I know? What is he doing? Oh! Being yelled at by by the principal. Is he firing him? Oh gosh, that doesn't... Ooh, okay. Wonder what that's all about. Kate's alright, she's... Oh, Victoria. What's bothering Victoria? Uh-oh. What are those two up to? They're up to something. Probably scheming. Scheming against us. Is that Frank? Wait, who has the dog? I don't remember. No, is that someone we don't know? Maybe it is. Is it Frank? I don't remember what Frank looked like. Kate's still alive. Is she in the hospital? Oh, good. Good. Somebody can keep an eye on her, please. Please help her. Keep an eye on her. Saved her life, though, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. She still needs help. And there's Chloe. Alive, thanks to us still. Sorry about Kate, I hope you're okay. This eclipse freaks me out. Let's find out what's going on. Together. There we go. Rachel, Lynn, Kelly. Is Kate one of these? Is Kate in one of these archives? Whatever this means. That's Kate. Yep, Kate. Scrapbooks? So these people are all connected. Kate Marsh. Okay. I'm assuming Max is going to be at the end of episode 4. Just a guess. It's going to be Max. Trying to find out. Episode 2, Out of Time, Life is Strange team. Okay, my immediate thoughts of this episode. Let me start by saying, when we play games, guys, or when we watch a movie, or when we read a book, we're allowed to have characters that are not our favorite. We're allowed to not particularly care for certain characters. There are certainly a lot of characters in many of the other games that I've played that I've loved that so many people hate. And vice versa. There's a lot of characters, as you probably know, from games that I really don't like, but other people really love. or characters that I'm sympathetic towards, but a lot of other people are not sympathetic towards, and characters that many people are sympathetic towards, but I'm not as sympathetic. So, again, I'm allowed to not like Chloe. She's not my favorite. Do I hope? That doesn't mean that I want her to die. That doesn't mean that I don't hope that she gets better. That doesn't mean that I don't hope that her life gets better. I want her life to get better. I want her to become smarter, and I want her to make smarter choices. But that doesn't mean that she has to be my favorite character. I care about her well-being, just like I care about everybody's well-being. I just wish that she would just grow up a little bit. Grow up a little more, you know? And I think that's why, my favorite parts of this episode was all of the parts with Kate. The Kate obviously was a big one. I loved the parts with Kate. I love the little scenes with Warren, because you all know how much I like Warren. It's just, the scenes with Chloe, it seemed like more than half of this episode was with Chloe, and because she wasn't my favorite character, those scenes were frustrating to me. And it's not the game's fault. It's not the story's fault. Again, the stuff at the junkyard and at the train tracks was just very frustrating and aggravating to me, because I knew nothing good's gonna come out of this. But the girls are doing anyway. Chloe's doing it anyway, and we're kind of along for the ride. So, I guess because Chloe is not my favorite character, and because the stuff that they were doing were frustrating to me, I just did not enjoy those parts of the episode. And because more than half of the episode was with Chloe, it felt like, my feeling after playing this game is, man, I loved all the stuff with Kate, and I loved stuff with all of the other characters, but the stuff with Chloe, if it wasn't for the fact that I knew that it moved the plot along, there were definitely elements in what was going on with Chloe that I'm sure will have stuff going on with the plot, with Frank, for example. But if it wasn't for that, I personally could have done without it. Just because I'm allowed to not like Chloe. I'm allowed to not have her be my favorite character. And and a lot of people were like, well, why are you playing this game? Well, because I still want to know what happens. I still want to know I still care about other characters a lot. I'm intrigued by, what will become of the Powers. I'm intrigued by what will become of the city when the tornado comes, and who caused the tornado, and where the stuff with David Madsen, where he fits in and all of this and all that good stuff. I'm still intrigued by the other characters, but, I'm sure there are shows that you watch, TV shows where there's that one character that you don't particularly like, but you still watch the show anyway. You don't let that one character that you don't like stop you from enjoying it. So, I started this series, and I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it because I genuinely want to know what happens at the end. And it's just really nice to see our choices again culminate, and just to see the consequences of those choices. So, I'm trying to give Chloe a chance. I really am. I'm trying to give her character a chance. But the stuff that happened with her character in the scene did not make me warm up to her. It actually took me steps further back. And that's okay. It's okay. I think that, again, the worst thing that I could be is neutral about characters. When I love characters, I love characters. When I don't particularly care for characters, I'll at least give reasons why. I'm not going to be the kind of person who says I don't like this character and not tell you why. You may not agree with it, but I hope you guys can at least understand. You can at least understand why I may not necessarily like the character. And I'm trying not to allow that to spoil my experience with this game, because I know a lot of people love this game and are really enjoying this game. A lot of people really like Chloe's character a lot. I'm not knocking people. If you like Chloe, I'm happy that you like Chloe and that you are very sympathetic to her position more than I may be. I'm happy that you are. I'm not out to convince you. I'm not sitting here trying to convince you of anything. I'm just sharing what I think. And if you think other ways, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for you for that. Great. More power to you. It's not, I'm not trying to debate. I'm not trying to tell you you should not like Chloe. I'm not telling you that at all. I'm just telling you these are the reasons why she's not my favorite. And, you know, hopefully you guys can respect that. So, anyway, again, I don't mean to spend so much time. I felt like I've spent half of my commentary talking about Chloe, but half of this episode was with Chloe. So naturally, I'm going to be talking about Chloe half the time if she was in the game half the time in this episode. But I'd like to believe I worked at great lengths with other characters as well. Out of time, you told Kate to go to the police. You told Kate to wait for proof. Oh, 35%. Only 35% told Kate to go to the police. I guess people thought that the police aren't going to help her. But whatever we did by telling her to go to the police, it saved her life, or helped save her life. 78% answered Kate's call, and only 22% didn't answer Kate's call. I think I understand that. You tried to shoot Frank, 60%, which I understand. I think at that point it's self-defense. But in the end, 40% didn't try to shoot Frank. And I think that was probably the better of the two outcomes, because now Frank's not as ticked off at us, since I wasn't trying to shoot him. Wow, 40% couldn't save Kate. Now I know 60% is the majority still, but not by much. Not by much. 40% is still a good half of people who weren't able to save Kate. Wow. 81% blame Nathan. Yeah, I wasn't gonna blame Jefferson, and I wasn't gonna blame David. I think of all of the people in that room, it was Nathan, the one that I had the least sympathy for. Nathan had the least sympathy for. David, I think Mr. Jefferson actually, and will end up learning from his mistakes. David seemed to want to be. Seemed to want to be sorry for what he was doing. Nathan just had zero care. So that's why I blamed him. Friends stats world stats. Friends stats. I guess none of my friends have played this game yet, so okay. None of my friends did. Yeah. Refresh, next. Alright, out of time. 84% watered your plant. 36% didn't help Alyssa. Oh, I guess I missed that part. I missed that part with Alyssa. I think we left too early, and I didn't realize there was an opportunity for us to help Alyssa. Sorry, Alyssa! You left the link to Kate's video. Oh, I didn't realize that was an option. Yeah, I remember reading about that in the journal and just didn't notice it. I wasn't observant enough. It's okay. We still managed to save Kate's life. So I'm glad that didn't end up hurting us in the end. I erased the stuff off Kate's dry erase board, though. 53% were friendly with Taylor. 70% accepted Warren's invitation. And 30% didn't. I guess, I understand if there are people that aren't really big fans of Warren. I understand, but I think Warren's awesome. 57% wrote a message. Oh, you tampered with the rail tracks. You didn't tamper with the rail tracks. Oh, wow, I'm in the minority. I guess I just I mean, I didn't know how else to get her out of the tracks, but I probably could have done that better. But hey, I mean, I was afraid that I would end up like passing out, so it worked. What I did worked, and I was just gonna do it. You gained entry to the Vortex Club party. Oh boy, so don't drink anything. Just remember not to even drink a sip of anything, especially if Nathan Prescott's there. You helped. I thought I helped Warren. I thought I helped Warren. Wait, I thought I helped him. Aw, I thought I helped Warren. That's a bummer. I had a chance to help Warren and I didn't. It's okay. I still accept his invitation. I could have sworn I helped him. Maybe I didn't look around enough. Oh, that's a bummer. I'll have to find out what I did wrong. I thought I mixed it. But maybe that's why he didn't give me a hug. Boo. You told on David to Mr. Jefferson, 80%. You didn't tell David to Mr. Jefferson. Okay. All right. All right. I'm bummed. I thought I did everything to help Warren because it didn't say total fail. And then I went back and rewound. Maybe I was supposed to pick out something for him. I don't know. That's disappointing. I'm sorry, Warren. I'll be better next time. Scenes from the next. Oh, we're breaking in. This is another smart thing for us to do. Breaking into the school. Smart. Smart, girls. Episode 3, Chaos Theory. Interesting. That was a little bit of a shorter next time. Okay. I think that's about it. So, alright guys, so we have 3 more episodes left. We're almost halfway through the series. Thank you again for watching and surviving through my rants. Again, I apologize. This is the one game that I think I rant the most, and I'm sorry for that. I feel bad, but it's in my head, so I'm going to share it. It's what's honestly in my head. I'm going to share it, and I hope that that's okay. I hope that it's alright for you guys that I do that. So, because Lord knows if you guys go on your rants in the comment section, I let you. Even if I totally disagree with what you're saying, I let you, as long as you're respectful of each other, which I think I'm being, as long as you're respectful of other people's opinions as well, you're allowed to voice your mind and voice your opinions, even if it happens to be not very popular with other people. It's okay. So, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, love yourselves, love each other.